Ron Nicoletti along with Christina Bossinakis, and it is a special day at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. It is Sunshine Millions Day. 6 Sunshine Million races. Christina with over $1.05 million in purses in those races. But a great day, 12:05 post. Great maiden races, should be a lot of fun.
It's a great day, also a wonderful evening as well with the Eclipse Awards, so it was always a lot of fun here in southern Florida. But let's start with a couple of the early races. Ron, we'll talk about a couple of the races on the undercard, a couple of maidens, and we'll start with race 4. You know how I like these maidens, first-time starters, 2-year-olds turning 3. And my top selection in there, you're going to be shocked. Number 9, Kinsley Kisses.
Let me guess, it's from the Todd Pletcher
Todd Pletcher barn. And the reason this horse caught my eye, it's a 3-year-old filly by Congrats. Congrats' yearling average in 2014 was just under 100,000. Well, this one cost 200,000. So right away that catches my eye. Doesn't have a lot of pedigree, but there's some nice steady works. There's a little bit of buzz around this one too. So I think this is a good one. This is one of the fillies you got to watch.
Yeah, you know, that's race number 4. It's the 7 furlong, a maiden special weight event for 3-year-old fillies. I went with a horse that has some experience, and that's the 5 Bird Street, is making her local debut after a pair of really solid performances, I thought, in Kentucky, including a 7 furlong race at Churchill Downs. She broke slow in that race. She took the overland route. She swung wide, but she was only beaten 2 3/4 lengths in there, finishing 3rd in that race, Joel Rosario. So you went with a first-time starter. I went with a horse with a little experience.
I think one horse you're going to want to throw in there, Denisa again, and that's a George Navarro. I think last time she didn't run a race. She showed speed. She faded late. She took money, but again, she also had some trouble late. So I think she's going to improve, and if you can get her at a bit of a price, that might be the direction to go. But Ron, we also mentioned that other maiden, race number 12 on the card, maiden special weight. It's also 7 furlongs on the main track, and my top choice in there, I think we're in agreement, Sharp Azteca, and this is a colt by Freud, $220,000 as a 2-year-old for George Navarro, and look who he finished second to, Zulu, Coolmore, Todd Pletcher. That's a nice colt.
Well, Zulu will be running on Friday. This looks like a special horse. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zulu and even this horse, Sharp Azteca, in the Fountain of Youth in a couple of weeks. This horse ran really well. And, you know, Zulu, $900,000, son of Bernardini. You know, I threw the 8. It's all relevant in there. And another horse from Todd Pletcher I'll let you talk about, and that's the 11 Bloat Hall.
Yeah, Bolt Hall is a son of Scat Daddy. The Scat Daddies, I like those first-time starters. They tend to be pretty precocious. This one cost $360,000, Keeneland, September. So one that you might want to consider, but I think Sharp Azteca, that's going to be the one to beat. I bumped into George Navarro a few weeks ago. He said that's the best horse in his barn right now with no longer having private zone. So I think that's going to be a horse we're going to have to watch.
We mentioned it's Sunshine Millions Day. So let's take a look at the 2 feature events of those 6 stakes races. And we'll start it off with the fillies in here. 7 furlongs, fillies in mares, 4-year-olds and up, bred in Florida, $200,000. It's the Sunshine Millions this day. And the big story in here, the great story, is the number 5 horse, Flutterby, trained by 90-year-old young trainer, Jerry Bazzo.
Yeah, she looks like she does. Obviously, this 5-year-old mare, she has the talent, and she also. But it looks like she's got some speed, Ron. She's going to have company. I think there's a couple of other horses in there. They have some speed. Pretty nice races last year, but she's coming back off a layoff. Hasn't raced since November, and we don't see a whole lot of works since then. So does that put you off?
It puts me off a little bit, but like I said, Jerry Bazzo really takes care of this horse. This is his stable star. He doesn't have many horses anymore, and I'm expecting this horse to run really big in there. Horse that beat this horse in the Sunshine Millions preview, distaff preview, was Legal Laura, who defeated her, as I mentioned. He's turning back to 7 furlongs. She went a little too long in that race. It was the Grade 3 Rampart of Mile. I think that's the biggest, in my estimation, challenge for Flutterby.
I actually like a horse that's probably going to be at a long price, and that's You Bought Her. I think she'll probably be hovering somewhere around 10-1. She's a closer. I think at a price, you're going to have to include her. Her numbers, very, very good. Coming into this race, she won 3 starts back, and that was at Keeneland, going 6.5 furlongs, and facing some, also beat that horse, Legal Laura, that you mentioned. So she's really nice in the money. Her last 3 starts, she's a closer. I'm hoping she gets some speed. We're going to get a price. That's where I'm going.
Well, you know, we got the Classic, and that is going to be race number 11 on the card. 1 mile and 1/8, 4-year-olds and up, bred in Florida. $250,000, the Sunshine Millions Classic, and a pretty wide open affair.
It is a wide open affair, and there's a horse in here that I'm looking for him to come back, and that is Mr. Jordan from the Eddie Pliza barn. And talk about speed of the speed. I think he's going to be up front. And let's talk about his last race a minute. He was fifth, beaten 15 lengths, and obviously he had his troubles that day. Eddie Pliza said that the horse had been training lights out going into the race, has been training very, very well since. I saw the horse over the summer, and he had filled out, he grew. I think he's really the horse to watch if he comes back and he has a good trip.
Well, he was totally knocked off his game last time out. He came out of the gate, he got whacked. So this horse, who, as you mentioned, is the speed of the speed, didn't get the chance to do it. The jock sort of wrapped up on him. We're going to wait for another day. That was 7 days ago. Coming back on short, 7 days rest. So Eddie, thinking his horse is doing so well, he'll turn him right back and stretch him out to 9 furlongs. And if he does get loose and doesn't get in the speed to with Sir Kisciano, he could be very dangerous in there. But I did go with a horse named number 4. It's the 4 horse, Sadaguro, who's going for 3 victories in a row after following a really game victory in the $100,000 Foolish Pleasure. Comes right back with a solid score in the mile and the 16th Sunshine Millions Classic. So that's the one I'm going to beat. I know you have another horse in there that you wanted to talk about.
Well, actually, a horse that I thought, at least from on paper, looks like to be one that we have to include, and that's number 2, Runs with Bulls, Javier Castellano aboard. We're going to just take a look at, I spoke to Javier just a few moments ago, told me about this horse. He's also up for his 3rd consecutive Eclipse Award on this weekend, so that's exciting for him. But we'll just take a quick look and see what Javier had to say about the number 2, Runs with Bulls.
The first time I rode the horse, it was a very good result. I mean, the way he rode the horse, then he liked the muddy track that day, I remember. I think he pretty well. They have a lot of confidence with the horse, the way he's been training. And it's a straightforward horse. You can put in good statical position. It's push back the horse. And when you ask it, he took off. And he did handle so well that day. Very impressed.
Is there anybody in it better than Javier Castellano right now? He's in such a great form all year long.
He has been in great form, and he's done a wonderful job. And Matt Musiker, his agent, he's done a great job campaigning or mapping out that campaign. So, again, this horse comes in with 3 consecutive wins, and the last time for Peter Walder, 1 for 1 for Peter Walder.
Yeah, I mean, he's very, very dangerous in there. And the other horse I threw on, a horse that actually won the Claimant Crown Jewel last year at this 1 mile and 1/8 distance, Catholic Cowboy, trained by Nick Zito. He could certainly be there to close out the trifecta or superfecta on a really special day. You know, Sunshine Millions Day, and you mentioned your Eclipse Awards. What a weekend at Gulfstream Park.
We have a great weekend, and of course, Ron Nicoletti, you'll be around. I'll be around the whole weekend, but a lot of fun for Sunshine Millions Day, and good luck, everybody.